Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. I'll be quick. It is Thursday here, the 28th of August. Let's take a look at the markets. Basically, they continue to act really well, kind of in line with our expectation. Again, I just kind of got back into the markets. I was on vacation. I got back this week, so I tried to present my view on the market. Continue to look fairly constructive in here. You guys are familiar with the wave counts. We'll revisit them pretty quickly here shortly. But I wanted to show you a couple of things in terms of kind of the market trend models here. This is a model that I've seen at David Keller from Stock Charts, but it is basically the long-term, medium-term, and kind of shorter-term. It's a combination of moving averages. So longer term here, we're basically since at the beginning of 2023, we kind of starting to turn bullish, and we've remained in a nice uptrend without even coming below that zero line. On the medium side, we've had a couple of short sell-offs in here. This one gives you a bit more warning because it's based on the 5 and the 13 moving average, but it is, and this is a weekly chart. But this one, also kind of looks good. It can kind of save you and give you a little bit of a heads up when things are about to, look, let's say, not that good from a medium-term perspective. And the shorter term, I don't even watch because it's too choppy for me, so I'm not really interested into that. But again, we continue to remain in a nice uptrend that looks pretty good. Nicey, looking strong in here. I got no complaints, all above the moving averages. I expect a continuation of that. The SPX continues to make new all-time highs here, albeit slowly. But the RSI remains above 50, which is something I watch. The volume, it's definitely decent in here, a bit slowing down. We're making a high, but I can't really read a whole lot into that. We need to break below some of these lows, before you can even talk about a top. So just basic trend following market analysis, where you're looking at previous swing lows. You use those as a marker, and then you continue to look higher based on that, using those as a defense. MDX has not made a new high just yet, but it looks like it's in the cards. This looks like a nice correction in here into the 50-day moving average, so that looks beautiful. Dow Jones a bit slow in here, but still a pretty good volume kind of came in even today. A large number, I think 80 or 90% of the stocks that are in the Dow Jones are above their 20-day moving average, which is a good thing, and it shows kind of commitment in this market. IWM was a bit choppy today, so you only gained about 12 basis points, but looking good. We're going to get to crypto here in a second. SOX, looks good. I mean, Nvidia yesterday had earnings. That company continues to show growth. I don't want to get into all those details, but nonetheless, this pattern usually resolves higher. So we're going to look for that in semiconductor index, which is a bbig part of the market, right? It's almost used now. I don't think I have the chart ready, but if you know anything about Dow theory, where you're looking basically at the transport for confirmation or not in terms of the standard market, kind of the new Dow theory looks at the more at the semiconductors, if they're participating into the rallies or they're heading a different way. And so far, they've been doing great, consolidating here, and nice uptrend from the lows. RSI looks good, so that's fine. Bitcoin, continues to struggle in here. I'm not ready to press any acceleration on it. It needs to break above this level right there. Until that happens, I don't think there's much to do. Definitely, you're in a shorter term correction, in a shorter term downtrend. In here, you can see how the 50-day and the 21-day now are offering. It's a level of supply, right? As the market kind of gets up there, it tends to be rejected. So we got to overcome those levels. Until that happens, I would kind of stay away from being too ambitious. Again, at the weekly time frame, it looks good. This could be the levels that could hold in here. But I'll show you the IBIT chart here in a second to kind of show you what I'm thinking in terms of the wave count as well. And then Ethereum looks better for sure. It's holding its uptrend, and obviously, if Bitcoin will continue to correct, I think Ethereum will start to lose some ground. But you can look, and if you want to stay with the strongest right now, Ethereum, it's the stronger one. And then XRP, just kind of being tight. I was thinking about opening some longs in it, but I said it's not ready yet. There's nothing here. It could be a big old triangle. Triangles are notorious for being for taking a lot of time. To tell you the truth, I would rather buy XRP above these levels than buy them here. I'd rather pay up with more confirmation than get myself into a pinch in here where it just does nothing, maybe crashes lower a little bit and then it goes. I don't know. It's just not a chart pattern that's exciting for me at the moment until it breaks 3.3. I'm not ready to discuss it in terms of purchases. USD, it's probably going to begin a new leg lower by the way it looks. So let's see how that happens. That should help risk assets. Gold looks very pretty. It does seem like this huge triangle. It's near completion. You have your A, you have your B, you have your C, and then you could have another A, B, C, D. Wait, I'm doing something wrong. So A, B, C, D, and then A, B, C, D, E, and because you can get another triangle in that E leg of the triangle, right? And then you go. So I think something like this is going on. Maybe I'm not measuring it correctly, but either way, it is a triangle. And they in an uptrend they have a tendency to break higher, and if you're asking yourself, well, how high can this go? Definitely, you can measure the base and then project it from from the lowest point and then see where that takes you. I do have a video on YouTube. I don't have the link to it, but where I explain kind of how these triangles, how the how we measure those. But take a look at Costco and you'll see this. I remember this because I was talking. In Substack with the guys there and about this one. So look at this guy, and this was it took about a year to complete, right? I mean, look what it started. It kind of and look at the signal he gave right there. This is on the weekly time frame, and Costco went from whatever 500 to over 1,000, so it doubled after it break from the trend. I'm not saying this is going to happen in gold. It could be a short-lived one, who knows, but you never know. So you can kind of try to ride it, right, by placing the stops below swings or below a moving average and see how long it gives you. I mean, that's just the way it is. Silver also looks fairly healthy, and it looks like it's finally establishing some sort of uptrend. TNX, the rates coming lower a bit here, and then oil not doing a whole lot. I do have, the VIX, and I do have, we can talk, for an hour here in all the charts. I would love to show you here in terms of breadth and sentiment and all of that stuff, but they're basically not important at the moment because there's not much there to really dive into. So I do want to kind of quickly run you through the wave count. So in terms of Nasdaq Composite, right, we're continuing to look for that eventual top that's going to come in this market at some point. For right now, we don't know where that is. I would assume it is a wave one. In here, it's a little bit harder to find a wave two, unless I go and I put it, here like that, and I say that's a wave two. But that's like such a short wave that it's just kind of, would throw me off big time. So it's hard for me to kind of swallow that, and really, you don't have a proper correction anywhere just yet to say that you're in some type of a wave two. So will it come? We don't know when, and I'm not here to tell you I know the secrets of Elliott or when it's going to happen. When it's going to happen is going to happen. We're going to see it. But until then, I remain long, and I will be long at the top for sure. So that's that, and then Dow Jones again acting fairly healthy. I'll show you quickly the counts. Russell, I kind of love this index. I think it's it's got a lot of potential ahead. We'll see what happens here, but it's it screams to kind of go and make a new all-time high, and I'm kind of patiently waiting for that to happen. And then again, SPX, it's it's on a similar story. Um, Basically just continuing to look nice and strong in here. I wouldn't, let's say, worry too much about this type of a divergence. It can boost higher at any time, and it's gone. So not much to really talk about that there. And then IBIT. It's definitely interesting because, and I touched on this when I spoke about Bitcoin, when I was looking at this being a 1-2, a shorter three-way 4 and 5, and I don't think there is overlap there, right? Is there? No, it's no overlap. So you can see how it came right at the top of that wave one, and then it should higher. It's an awkward kind of impulsive move. I think it is impulsive because you can kind of see the moves there. It's a longer wave one with a shorter wave 3 and a shorter wave 5, and it's correct because wave 3 is not the shortest wave. So wave 1 can be longer as long as 30 is not shortest, and in this case 5 is the shortest one. This is a more conservative one. One could say, well, how about a 1-2-1 ABC for 2, and then you go higher? I think that could be a bit forced. What this does is basically allows this wave 2 to breathe. So far we've only corrected 23%. I would love to hold here. Again, I won't be interested to move to the long side until you're starting to pass above 66.75, and then I will initiate a small long position, and then I would definitely add on a break of that. Until that happens, I'm prepared for IBIT or Bitcoin to drift lower if it wants to, and it can even come all the way up here. I don't know what they would do to the price itself of Bitcoin, but if it wants to do a 51.75, it would still be fine. Let's see how it would look in terms of a some kind of a channel. So you could kind of combine that with this. So if it wants to do something like that, it would be into the kind of the 38%. If it wants to do a quick flush down to 55, that would still be okay. So it's just a normal correction process. I'm kind of ready for it, and I'm not again in the camp that says Bitcoin is stopped and it's crashing to 50,000 or something like that. Never know, but it's just kind of my take here. So thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, I think that's all it is. I don't have the XRP or the Ethereum. I think I've talked about those wave counts before, so I'll leave them for now. As you see, nothing is really happening there. So talk to you later. Thanks for watching.